Hello, parents new to the platform. This is Miss Catherine, and I'm going to show you how to log in to the platform and to see your child's work. And I'll give you an introduction into all of the things that you'll see once you log in. So to begin, go to summitlearning.org and click on Login. And then you'll see in the upper right corner a link for Parents Login. Click that. And here you can use your unique username that I shared with you. There is a default password, but once you log in the first time, you can change your password. So once you log in, you'll get a welcome message, and on the landing page, you can change your password, and there are some other things you can do. You can access some information for parents about the platform, or you can just opt to go right to your child's dashboard. So once you get to your child's dashboard, you're going to land on the week page that we're looking at right now. And I like to think of this as a planner. So what you see in the week is each of the 3 courses that your child is in the platform. And if you click on the name of any of those courses, you'll get a pop-up menu with your child's grades. So let's just take a peek at that. Looking at your child's grade pop-up, you can see at the top an overview of the course. You can see if your child has any projects overdue or if any focus areas are not completed, and you can see whether or not your child is on pace to complete all of the focus areas by the end of the year. Over to the right, you can also see your child's grade, the overall course grade, and beneath that is the cognitive skills. There are 36 cognitive skills, not all of which are assessed in a single course or possibly even in a single year, depending on how the year is planned out. The blue highlighted numbers are actual cognitive score grades that you can see, and over here is the list of cognitive skills. So that's a nice dip into kind of an overview of your child's grades. Let's close that. The week view is a place where your child can set up goals for the week for each class. They can click on there and they can see some options from a drop-down menu for specific goals that they want to make, or they can just type in something of their own design. Like, let's see, this would be geometry on Monday. The date is past, but pretend it's not. Might say at 5, do conic sections, focus area for 30 minutes. And instead of do, we might actually write study. So when you're logged in as a parent, you're seeing everything that your child sees, but you can't actually make any actions in his or her platform. So I just typed a goal, but if I click create goal, you're going to see a pop-up menu at the bottom that says, oh, something went wrong, please refresh. Basically, it's just because you are not your child, so you cannot act as if you are. But I wanted to show you that. In the week view, the default setting is for you to see Monday through Friday, but you can click this option up here to show Saturday and Sunday as well. The year view is where you're going to see at a glance exactly what your child is working on, what he or she has been working on, and what's coming up. So you can see all of the curricula for all courses for the whole entire year. And each course, you can see the course names in the big bold heading in each of these rows. And then there are sub-rows. Under the course heading, you see projects, and then power focus areas, and then additional focus areas. And some students have challenge focus areas, and some have exempt focus areas. So the row of projects, this is where you're going to see all of the work that your child is doing in conjunction with his or her teacher. That happens in the classroom. It also involves collaboration with peers. And so we can click into a project to see to see an overview. So when you click on a project from the year view, you come to the overview page of the project, and every overview page looks the same, so I'll just briefly introduce that to you. The first bit that you see on the left column, top left column, is all of the final products for that project. And if you click on those, they'll open up documents and you'll see what the actual products are that your child is going to be creating for this project. Beneath the final products, you'll see checkpoints, and checkpoints are steps along the way toward or in the process of preparing the final products. For each checkpoint, you're going to see another drop-down menu of different resources and activities that will help your child build the cognitive skills and apply the knowledge they're learning in order to complete the checkpoint and be closer to completing the final product. Sometimes there are additional resources down at the bottom. So this project did have some additional resources. I did some tutorials for the kids to help them find a lot of stuff because this project happened a lot earlier in the year. On the right side, you'll see project information, which is definitely helpful to you, and it's a nice thing for your child to be able to revisit as they're going through the project. Every project has at least one essential question that really drives all of the learning throughout the project. Some have more than one. There are also enduring understandings that we're hoping your child will acquire as a result of having gone through this project. Then there's a project description, which I think is really interesting and helpful for you to read so you get a sense of what exactly is entailed in all the different phases of this project. Underneath the project information, you'll see the cognitive skills that are going to be developed and assessed throughout the project, and if you hover over those, you'll get a more complete description of what they mean. This little link right here is a really important tool that I love that you will be able to see, but most of all, I love that your child has access to the overall rubric. We use the rubric a lot because cognitive skills count for 70% of your child's overall course grade. They're that important. These are the interdisciplinary skills that really set your child up for success in anything he or she is going to do in his or her life. So the rubric is excellent because it gets your child to fully understand what the skill is that they're building and also how they're expected to demonstrate their application of that, how they're supposed to apply it, and how they're expected to demonstrate their understanding of that skill. So what we can do is click on the grade level that your child is in. I'm going to go to grade 8 right now just because the numbers are a little bit easier to look at. Every grade level has a range of scores. You can see that those numbers change. So if we're in 7th grade, the range is from 2.5 to 4.5. If we're in 8th grade, that goes up a little bit. The range is from 3 to 5. So a score of 3, or what I shouldn't say 3 because it's really the lower end of the range for your child's grade level is worth 70%. The middle score is worth 85%, and the upper is worth 100%. So what I really like about this is that it shows your child not only what the skill is and how to apply it, but it also allows them to see the nuances of how you can increase the sophistication of the application of that skill. So that's just what I love about rubrics, and I like that your child is learning how to use the rubric as a learning tool and as a guide for the work that he or she is doing, and also as a tool for reflection. So that's a really nice little feature. Underneath the cognitive skills is the list of focus areas that are aligned with the project. Focus areas are independent study modules. And your child will be studying focus areas at home. So when you see your child doing work at home for his or her courses at Summit School, you should definitely see a notebook out because this is not passive learning. This is definitely active learning. And although your child is new to Summit School, the other students have spent a lot of time studying different note-taking methods, and your child will learn those as well. So I'm not going to dig into a focus area right now, but I definitely encourage you to ask your child to show that to you. I want to head right back to the year view for a second to just finish up explaining what you see here. I want to just talk a little bit about this blue line. This is the pacing guide. And this line is basically saying, okay, this is where we are in time. And so if anything that is on the left of this line is stuff that we have basically passed, and if you haven't completed that work yet, then you can see that you're falling behind essentially. But it's not, just to clarify, it's not that we expect everybody to be at the blue line all the time. We want kids to be learning at their own pace, but we also want to create a sense of urgency and reality that we do have a limited amount of time. The school year is only so long. So this just keeps us really grounded in how time is passing and how much time we have left, and what we need to do to be on pace to finish the year strong. So everything to the left of the blue line has already been studied and either mastered or not. We have the color coding system. Green means you've mastered it, you've done great, wonderful, move on. Yellow means you probably have a little more work to do, and red means either you haven't started studying but now it's overdue, or it means you studied, you attempted the content assessment, or you handed in your work and your cognitive scores are really low, or you didn't pass the assessment. So the color coding is definitely helpful. We'll see a little bit more of the color coding in the progress page. So in the progress page, you get a quick glimpse at your child's scores for his or her courses, and you also can see who his or her mentor is. In the activity feed, you're going to see everything your child has done, and at a very quick glance, whether or not that work is complete and completed well. So when you see the yellow with the 2 arrows, that means, okay, there's more work to do there. Green means fantastic, keep going, and red means something isn't right and needs to be addressed immediately. You're also going to see in the activity feed messages from your child's mentor to your child. So it might be something like this. Okay, and then great talk, Miss Catherine. That will be in the feed. So every mentoring session, we leave, kind of tracks of our thinking so that your child can reflect on that over time and say, okay, so last week in our mentoring session, we talked about this. How am I doing with that? And it also gives you a chance to see what is happening in mentoring sessions. So I like the the progress page a lot. This is a really good place to check in. The college page is for you to explore with your child. We're not doing that quite yet. We're just not there yet. But this is a place where you can start to talk about how the behaviors that your child is engaging in now is setting him or her up for a particular kind of future, and that we can set some longer term goals to make sure that we're working toward the life that we want to create for ourselves, right? So whether that's college or it's a career, your child can be thinking about how his or her grades are shaping up and what they can do to get them where they want them to be, test scores, and so forth. So I hope that was helpful. You can always email me with questions. I am katherineH@summitschoolpoconos.org, and you have my email address already, so you can just reply to my emails. Great. I hope that was helpful. Take care.